Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. Hope you had a great weekend. It is Monday, February 19th, and do not adjust your set. It is the Guy Show today.
Yes, definitely the Bro Show, as we sometimes like to call it here. Thanks again for hanging out with us to start your work week. Of course, it's a holiday out there, Mark, but you know, a lot of people may be up and about to start their Monday morning.
It's very possible. I know some folks do have the day off for President's Day today. We're starting out on the cold side. Good to have RJ and Mike Osterhage here with us.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, continuation of the weekend. Now, Saturday, of course, was, one of those gray days. I thought it was fantastic out there. Yesterday was absolutely beautiful. Stayed on the chilly side, and this morning is a continuation of that. We are starting off at 36 degrees right now, so we are on average 10 degrees below normal, and dew point stands at 29, so still some very dry air out there. Nice big warm up today. We're going to gain 30 plus degrees throughout the day, getting up to a normal high temperature up into the upper 60s. Now, as far as the aquifer, yesterday's reading, no change, a push, we'll take that. And the allergens, the only thing showing up was mold on the low side. So take a look at some of the temperatures around the area right now, and we do have some freezing readings out there. 29 right now up in Comfort, 31 in Hondo, 36 Kerrville, and just above freezing, 33 there in Bulverde. So of course in your backyard it may be just right below freezing as of right now. We've got all the perfect ingredients in place, clear skies, no wind really to speak of. We don't really have any wind chill to deal with, and this very, very dry air. Then the dry air obviously warms up quite easily. So as far as the rest of today, like I said, 60 at noon, 68 high temperature. Just fantastic. My opinion, today is going to be the best day of the week because we're going to start to see a little more humidity come back in here, and we've had our little taste of winter temperatures. Now it's going to be spring this week. Big question is there any rain in the forecast? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Mr. Marquez, doing all sorts of different things this morning. What's going on?
Yeah, Mike, doing double duty this Monday morning as we take a quick look. See if we can pull up TransGuide traffic cameras here real quick. There we go, 1604 Northwest Military traffic moving pretty good there. As we mentioned, it is a holiday, so not expecting our normal traffic that we usually see to start the work week, but we did have some overnight construction that has been clearing out I-10 at Culebra Road and in some of our other areas on the northeast side, and also that big construction project that's clearing out 1604 and I-10. But as we can see from our cameras early on, Mark, things looking pretty good out there.
Thank you, RJ. Now to a top story we're following this morning. Police here in Texas still searching for 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham. It's now been 5 days since she was last seen in Polk County, northeast of Houston. Her parents dropped her off at a bus stop Thursday morning, but they say she never made it to school. Since then, a person of interest in her disappearance has been arrested on an unrelated charge. Polk County deputies say 42-year-old Don Stephen McDougal's car may have been involved in her disappearance. Audrey's backpack was also found near a dam. Despite no sign of Audrey, her community isn't giving up finding her.
There's always hope. That's what we pray for, the safe return of Audrey to her family.
There is a $7,000 reward for information leading to finding Audrey. If you have any information that could help investigators find her, you're asked to call the Polk County Sheriff's Office, and that number is 1-936-327-6810.
A recent 600-page Department of Justice report is outlining the failures of law enforcement on May 24, 2022 at Robb Elementary. The DOJ pointed to 10 key moments that the nearly 400 officers could have and should have stopped the killings. Our KSAT Investigates team has poured over hours of body camera and surveillance video there to bring you those moments as they happen.
Dude, we gotta get in there. DPS is in the people. We gotta get in there. He just keeps shooting. We gotta get in there.
And to see the full KSAT Investigates story, head over to our website, ksat.com, where there is a full breakdown with multiple angles.
5:04 in your morning headlines. Republican presidential rival to former President Donald Trump, Nikki Haley, is criticizing him for remaining silent on the deaths of Alexei Navalny, Russia's leading opposition figure.
ABC's M. Nguyen explains, as the Biden administration points its right finger at Vladimir Putin for Navalny's death, Trump has only posted on social media comparing himself to the late anti-corruption activist.
Former President Trump still staying silent on the death of Vladimir Putin's fiercest critic, Alexei Navalny, despite making multiple appearances since Russia claimed Friday Navalny felt unwell and collapsed in a Russian prison.
I'm thrilled to be back in the American heartland.
The former president has only posted on social media comparing himself to Navalny, claiming without evidence that the U.S. justice system has been weaponized against him. Trump's remaining challenger on the Republican presidential primary, Nikki Haley, criticizing him for neglecting to directly weigh in on Navalny's death.
Either he sides with Putin and thinks it's cool that Putin killed one of his political opponents, or he just doesn't think it's that big of a deal.
This coming days after Trump also set off alarms saying he would encourage Russia to attack NATO allies who failed to meet agreed-upon defense spending goals.
We need to remind the American people that Vladimir Putin is not our friend.
Russian prison officials claim Navalny, who is serving a 19-year jail term for offenses widely considered politically motivated, died from, quote, sudden death syndrome. But Navalny's team insists he was murdered. They say his mother was told that her son's body would not be released until investigations were complete.
So right now we don't have access to the body and we don't know for sure where it is.
Russian police have been cracking down, arresting hundreds of people across Russia for trying to pay their respects to Navalny. Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, Navalny's death, along with the fall of a key city in eastern Ukraine this weekend, have added urgency to the debate of passing more aid for Ukraine's war against Russia. But House Republicans have insisted no more foreign aid until more border security has passed. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
6 people were injured and 1 person dead after a shooting overnight at a Waffle House in Indianapolis. Information is limited right now, but police say that officers responded to a report of a person shot early this morning. And when they arrived at the location, they found 6 people with gunshot wounds. 1 person died and the other 5 people were taken to the hospital. Police are still investigating.
This morning, a community mourning the loss of 2 officers and a firefighter after a standoff in a suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Burnsville police officers and firefighter were responding to a domestic violence call over the weekend. Authorities say an armed man was barricaded inside a home with 7 children, which escalated into an exchange of gunfire. The 2 officers, Paul Elmstrand and Matthew Ruge, along with firefighter paramedic Adam Finseth, were killed by the gunman during the response. All 7 kids made it out of the home alive, but Governor Tim Walz says this tragedy won't end anytime soon.
These families are forever impacted, and we still have Minnesotans willing to take an oath, sign up, do the work, and know this can happen. And that speaks volumes about this community, speaks volumes about Minnesotans.
Several other first responders were hurt and were taken to nearby hospitals and are expected to recover.
Closer to home, the first Sunday service at Lakewood Mega Church in Houston was held yesterday, a week after that deadly shooting where a woman opened fire during afternoon services. The suspect is 36-year-old Janice Moreno. She was killed in the exchange of gunfire, and her son was shot in the head and is listed in critical condition. The Houston Chief of Police held a press conference after the services, asking for prayers for the boy who's still in the hospital.
Little Samuel, 7-year-old innocent kid. Pray for him, pray for his family. You may never know the true motive.
Police are still investigating why Moreno opened fire and why she may have targeted Lakewood Church. They say that they will be releasing body camera footage from the shooting within the next 30 days.
5:08, 38 degrees on your Monday morning.
All right, Google testing a feature that calls businesses on your behalf and holds until an agent is available. All about the new Talk to Live Rep. We're going to talk about that feature coming up in today's Tech Bites.
Disney has released the trailer for a revival of the 1992 X-Men cartoon. We'll give you a preview coming up.
All right, a blast from the past there as we take a look at live cam. A chilly start to your Monday morning. We're going to be talking with Mike and checking out the latest forecast coming right up.
Tonight at 10.
I do think it's a crisis.
A local doctor is sounding the alarm. More people are losing their limbs in Bexar County because of complications with diabetes. How one man saved his foot. Tonight on the Night Beat.
In this morning's GMA First Look, big savings for President's Day.
Washington, Lincoln, FDR. This country was built on great leaders.
Experts say if you're in the market for a new mattress or big ticket appliances, now is the time to buy.
People are buying mattresses, they're buying washer dryers, they're buying dishwashers. There's not going to be another big sale probably until summer. So this will be a good time to get something new for spring if you're looking out for that.
And that's not all.
President's Day is also a time when retailers might want to move some remaining holiday inventory in the form of sales or clearances or blowouts. We see a lot of retailers from all types of industries getting in on the action because there is a lot of that commercial activity.
Also coming up at 7 a.m., we're telling you the deals that are best for your wallet and which ones to hold off on. With your GMA First Look, I'm Becky Worley, ABC News, Oakland, California.
When you smell the amazing scent of Gain Flings, time stops. Your heart races. Your eyes close. And you realize you're in love.
Steve!
With a laundry detergent. Gain Flings, seriously good scent. And 50% more fresh. Now that's love at first sniff.
Tear into it. A new adventure. A new discovery. It's all out there. They just need the crunch of Nature Valley to get after it. Life happens out there.
Long after guests leave, viruses and bacteria linger. Air fresheners add a scent, but only Lysol Air Sanitizer helps erase the trace, eliminating odor and killing 99.9% of viruses and bacteria in the air. Scent can't sanitize. Lysol can.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple's reportedly about to face a big fine. The Financial Times says European regulators are set to fine Apple more than $500 million. The fine follows an investigation into claims that Apple hindered third-party music services on its devices. A disturbing revelation for homeowners who use Wise security cameras. Some users were given access to cameras from other people's homes. The company says user data was corrupted after an outage. Wise insists the mishap only involved thumbnails and says users were not able to view live streams from others. And Google is testing a feature that will do the dialing for you. The Talk to a Live Rep function would call a business for you and then stay on hold until a live rep is available. It's similar to Pixel's Hold for Me, except Live Rep would navigate the entire calling process. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
All right. Have the three of us ever worked together? Just the guys?
Just the guys?
I'm not sure.
I don't think
I
so.
know, yeah, we may be making history here today.
Yeah, it's good to have you guys here. Steph's off today, obviously, so that's why RJ is doing double duty.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Now, as you look at the three of us, you see what Steph has to put up with. So.
Right. That you make a very strong case, Mike.
Yeah, maybe she needed the day off, I guess, after thinking about that. All right, guys, we are still following the very latest here with traffic. Unfortunately, there's just not that much going on out there on the roads right now. 1604 Marbach traffic moving pretty smooth both directions there. Same situation here, 1604 Meadow Creek. You do see here, there's just really no one out in the roads right now, as we kind of figured that with the holiday being upon us here, I'm not going to see too many people out and about, at least this early on your Monday morning. Mike, how are things looking outside? We know it's a little chilly out there.
Yeah, I was going to say pretty darn chilly out there. And boy, I'd say one thing, what a gorgeous sunset yesterday. It was just a beautiful day. Started off very, very cold. We did hit freezing as expected Sunday morning, and then nice warm up, but we only got up into the upper 50s. Now, different situation around here this morning. We're going to have an even bigger warm up in the afternoon. We've got a lot of clear skies going on out there as of right now, and temperatures are, well, we will drop down a few degrees here and there, and then right around 7 o'clock hit 35. Then we are going to warm up pretty quickly throughout the day. We'll make it up to 60 already at noon, and we're going to be gaining basically 30 degrees, even a little bit more than that at times in areas, I should say, getting up to 68. So we'll be up right at a normal high temperature later on today after starting off on the cold side of things. So we've got obviously very dry air in place, clear skies, dry air, light wind, perfect radiational cooling. Now, the humidity, while it's still going to be really comfortable today, is definitely going to start to increase. And as that humidity pours back on in here, and we're going to have mostly clear skies overnight tonight, we're going to have to watch out for some patchy fog around the area tomorrow. And that's going to be the situation, it looks like, Wednesday as well as Thursday mornings. And then throughout the day, we will continue to see that humidity pile on in here. And you can see even by evening hours tomorrow, we're going to be flirting with 60, which is that that threshold number when you start to feel the moisture in the atmosphere. Right now, obviously, there's nothing out there as far as any cloud cover, and really not a heck of a lot going on around the country. Big storm system off to the northeast has moved on out of there, a little bit in the midsection, and then another huge storm, a lot more rain off to the west. This is going to have, I guess, an indirect effect on our weather as far as the upper level steering wind. So we've got this nice little northwesterly flow that came in here over the weekend. Nice, pleasant temperatures, cool mornings, beautiful afternoons. Then the ridge builds in here, which is basically being kind of pushed out ahead of that big low. So this is our warm up for the rest of the week. And we're going to be looking at the first 80s of the year by latter portion of the week. That storm, like I said, will not have a direct impact on us. And this is going to be the situation throughout, like I said, the rest of the week. We do have another front moving on through here. Not as big as what we had last week. So here's what's going on. 68 today, then mid-70s tomorrow, upper 70s, and looking at 81 on Thursday. Also, the humidity is going to be increasing. So you'll definitely notice these upper 70s and low 80s. Low temperatures will be staying in the mid to upper 50s midweek. That front comes through, not a huge blast, but it will get rid of the humidity. So just about back down to normal temperatures by the weekend. Another good looking weekend, last one of February already. Yeah. And as far as rain, you see nothing on that graphic. Maybe midweek next week. That'd be the first opportunity for any rain around here.
Okay, thank you, Mike. By 21, 37 degrees.
Well, a new animated comedy debuts this week, taking place at the second best hospital in the galaxy. That's a great tease there. That's coming up in today's shows and series after the break.
Let's take a look at your lottery numbers real quick. Pick 3, 983, Fireball 2, Daily 4, 1125, Fireball 3.
All right, Cash 5, 12, 13, 19, 23, and 35. And then our Lotto Texas 3, 11, 14, 26, 35, 41. And our Texas Lottery here, our Powerball here, 6, 28, 59, 62, 69. And then what's that 21 there?
That is the Powerball.
The Powerball, and the Megaplier is 3 there.
Yeah, Power Play.
Power Play, okay.
Yeah.
Power Play. Good luck to everyone out there.
Welcome to the future. It's the year 14,002, and you're in the Ergulon Galaxy.
And where does one go for less than galactic class cutting edge healthcare in this time period? The second best hospital in the galaxy.
A case came in this morning that only 2 delusional narcissists would attempt, and they asked for you.
In a fun way or a weird way?
Kiki Palmer and Stephanie Hsu voice the futuristic physicians.
I play Clack. She's one of the doctors that work at the second best hospital in the galaxy. She has such a great kind of like moral integrity that drives everything she does, where she just wants to get it right.
Clack, are you meditating? Can I put this bomb next to you? That's the least stressful question I've been asked today.
I play Dr. Sleech. Dr. Sleech is I would say pretty like cocky, confident doctor who wants to be the best and doesn't want to be the second best. She wants to be the very best.
I heard you'll bend the rules to help people.
For science, not kindness.
When I first started to actually see the animations coming in, it got me even more excited about just the social commentary that the dialogue and that the show was talking about.
I think that there is a world in which this would have been honestly an amazing live action series, but I'm so happy that it's animated because the world that the animators and the writers have set up is just such something to behold and such a feast for the eyes.
We're doing this against my every instinct.
Still waiting to see the doctor in Hollywood. I'm Rick Damigella.
Watch the series finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings.
I'm grateful to have the chance to say goodbye. I am proud of you all, my X-Men.
Fate lies in our hands now.
That was a look at the new trailer for Disney's iconic X-Men cartoon. X-Men 97 is a direct sequel to the beloved X-Men animated series that ran for 5 seasons from 1992 to 1997.
Yeah, Mark, my inner child just woke up there. Saturday morning cartoons. The X-Men 97 series picks up where the finale left off, as you just saw there. The voiceover cast includes veterans of the original show and newcomers as well. It will start streaming on Disney Plus on March 20th.
All right, so the John Wick franchise is going from the big screen to the streets. A 12,000 square foot tourist attraction based on the movies is coming to the Area 15 campus in Las Vegas later this year.
Very cool. It will be an interactive experience, and guests will be tasked with specific missions playing out in unique ways with characters, mythology, and more from the Wick universe.
Very cool. 527, 37 degrees.
It's still ahead. The latest in Ukraine as weapons run low, and leaders in the Senate are urging House Speaker Mike Johnson and House Republicans to pass the funding bill that would send aid to Ukraine. What President Biden is saying about what the U.S. can do.
And ahead on GMSA at 6, we've got a double shot of leading SA. Max Massey looks at the San Antonio real estate market and what homeowners can expect to see this year. Good morning to you. It is Monday, February 19th, President's Day.
That's right. Yeah, starting off your work week here, pretty chilly outside. But yeah, even yesterday I went outside and I was a little confused with the weather because it felt a little bit warmer and then you feel that coolness out there. So it's a little confusing.
I was outside doing yard work yesterday and actually it was just down to a t-shirt after a while because the sun was just warming up so nicely and a lot prettier than what it was on, I'm sorry?
Nothing.
Oh. And a lot nicer than what it was on Saturday, at least nicer looking. Now, today is going to be an absolutely spectacular day. So, jacket this morning, you won't need it by later on this afternoon. Lots of clear skies out there over at 410, and temperature stands at 36 degrees. So, we're on average around the area 10 below normal. Still got some very dry air, so we can still drop down at least another couple of notches. A little bit of a breeze out there, not much, but that just adds a little bit of a kind of a nip to some of those temperatures. Freezing in Comfort, Bulverde's down to 32 right now, and Hondo's also freezing. 36 out there at the airport, and a couple of 40s still left over on the map. But like I said, we'll drop down another few notches in the next couple of hours. Mold's on the low side. That's the only thing showing up. Looks like we haven't had any mountain cedar showing up for, 4, 5, 6 days. So I think we're finally done with the mountain cedar. But of course, oak is right around the corner. Sunny, sensational today. An absolutely fantastic day. We're going to be warming up on average 30 degrees or even more than that in some cases, getting into the upper 60s and lots of just nothing but sunshine out there. Now, the next few days, as the humidity starts to come back on in here, we're going to see some morning fog, sunshine in the afternoon, but also temperatures along with that humidity are going to start to go up. So we're looking at mid to upper 70s, even low 80s by Thursday. The next front's going to move through here late Thursday, early Friday. Not going to be a huge blast of cold air, just kind of gets us back down closer to normal by the weekend. It will get rid of get rid of the humidity, I should say, and bring in drier air. And then next week, it's right back to getting back into the mid upper 70s. Also, the only chance of rain seen as of right now, maybe by middle of next week at best. So, yeah, it's not a good looking situation as far as the rainfall is concerned. Details in the forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, RJ, anything going on?
All right, quick check of traffic here, Mike. As you mentioned, we do have a disabled vehicle that's being reported right now by text out there. I-10 eastbound at Colorado Street. So right now you're looking at a couple of different shots here from TransGuide. Taking a look at Marshall Road there, 281 Overlook Parkway. A lot of our cameras there on the rotator on the north side of town. I-10, you see right there, State Highway 130. But again, disabled vehicle, stalled vehicle, I-10 eastbound at Colorado Street. We'll see if we can get a camera there and show you a little bit more information and give you a little bit more information during our next traffic hit, Mark.
Thank you, RJ. San Antonio police believe a teenager was shot and killed in broad daylight at an East Side apartment complex. This happened yesterday in the 3700 block of Benz Engelman just after 1 p.m. Police found the victim's body in the parking lot of those apartments. Investigators say people heard about 5 gunshots. They say they have no solid witnesses to the shooting. A mom who lives at the apartment complex says she is frustrated about the violence involving kids.
Learn how to live, love, and laugh. Enjoy life. Stop worrying about what somebody else got and don't have, and just enjoy yourself.
Now, investigators found several shell casings nearby. Police hope to get more clues from doorbell cameras. Plans for a new park in Northwest Bexar County is putting some neighbors on edge.
That's right. Crime is high all over the county, and a new BCSO substation just opened in the area.
Some neighbors told our Avery Everett they think the park will lead to more crime, so we took those concerns directly to the sheriff.
If you listen closely, You can hear the leaves rustling in this northwest Bexar County neighborhood. But if you listen even closer, the only sound coming this way is cars speeding down Tally Road.
Things are growing and developing.
Tensions are high on this side of town as neighbors discuss a proposed county park. For those against it, a big concern is crime.
The county is short-staffed as it is, and they're not going to have the manpower to protect the community that surrounds this park.
Break-ins and burglaries seem to feel more common.
Our neighborhood is plagued with car theft.
On this side of town, there are so many open house and new development signs plastered around the neighborhood. And that's why the sheriff says it's so important that they opened up this substation. Even if it's just one room inside a fire station, he says it's all about connecting his department with a community that's quickly growing.
We're absolutely going to need more. In the meantime, this is a pretty good bridge.
It's been nearly a month since the Bexar County Sheriff's Office opened its Northwest substation.
These are our SCORE deputies that are working the area right now. They're working on some information on a couple of the homeless encampments that they've identified in there.
He says his deputies are focused on homelessness and crimes of opportunity right now. But responding to calls all comes down to resources.
It's certainly not that they're not being heard. It's do we have the resources to do it?
The substation may be small, but the sheriff says it's a step.
Now that we have this influx of 37 new patrol deputies hitting the streets here before too long, that's what's going to give us the ability to police more effectively.
The county park is a growing debate in a growing community.
We do not want the crime that is going to go along with having a walking trail.
There's always going to be crime, but again, it's the community coming together.
She's working out of here to identify some.
And the sheriff says his priority is just keeping up with current safety concerns. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
5:36 in your morning headlines. Ukraine running low on weapons and munitions as it defends its country from the Russian invasion.
And one reason for the lack of supplies is Congress's inability to pass an aid package. John Lawrence explains this comes as the Kremlin recently overtook a key city from Ukraine.
President Joe Biden says the U.S. can't turn its back on Ukraine and its war against Russia.
And the idea that now, running out of ammunition, we walk away, I find it absurd. I find it unethical.
The Senate passed a $95 billion foreign aid bill last week, with $60 billion earmarked for Ukraine.
We are counting on this positive decision of the Congress. For us, this package is vital.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer released a statement Sunday demanding that House Speaker Mike Johnson and House Republicans pass the funding bill following the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny.
We must show Putin that he must pay a price for the death of Navalny. And the best price the U.S. can make Putin pay is to give Ukraine the help they need to fend off Putin's evil aggressions.
Johnson and others in the GOP have issues with the bill, saying it lacks provisions for migrants trying to enter the U.S.
The number one national security issue facing America today is our insecure, unsafe, and wide open southern border.
Schumer posting on social media, the bill is, quote, sitting on Speaker Johnson's desk while Putin waits to see if the U.S. will act. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The Biden administration may relax its strict vehicle emissions rules it proposed last year. Sources say the proposed rule change from the EPA would delay implementing strict emission standards until after 2030. The EPA rule is still not finalized and is expected to be released in the spring.
A judge has sentenced a former counterintelligence official with the FBI, Charles McGonigal, to an additional 28 months behind bars. This is after he pleaded guilty last September to accepting cash from a former Albanian intelligence employee. During his 22-year career at the FBI, McGonigal oversaw national security investigations at New York's field office.
And back here in Texas, hundreds of union workers are now on strike after against one of the largest brewing companies in the country. About 400 Teamster workers hit the picket line on Saturday after negotiators could not work out a new contract with Molson Coors Brewery in Fort Worth, Texas. The union says that it is trying to negotiate a new 3-year contract. It is seeking higher pay and better health and retirement benefits. The company says that while it respects the right of the union to strike, it has contingency plans in place.
As you know, 2024 is an election year. We want to give you a few reminders before primary voting gets underway. Next Friday is the deadline to apply for a mail-in ballot. Early voting for primary begins next week on Tuesday, the 20th. Election day is on March 5th. We have more information on voting locations, even a sample ballot. You can check it out right now on our website at ksat.com. And before we head to break, we want to give you a quick reminder. Today is President's Day. That means some schools will be closed. Take a look at your screen. Northside ISD, SAISD, and Northeast ISD will be closed.
That's right. Students in Southwest ISD will also be out of school today for the holiday. Southside ISD will be open and actually holding classes today.
540, 37 degrees.
All right, artificial intelligence is making its way to schools in North Carolina. After the break, how one AI chatbot is helping students and their mental health.
Outside with live cam, don't forget a coat this morning. Back to very much February-like temperatures out there. Mid-30s here in the Alamo City on your President's Day 2024.
Welcome back. 5:43 right now in your morning headlines. Health headlines. School leaders in North Carolina are using artificial intelligence to help students deal with mental health issues. Meet Kiwi the Llama. He is an AI chatbot developed by mental health professionals that provides around-the-clock mental health support. The app was developed alongside a company that partners with schools to combat youth health mental health crises here. Students can log on and have private chats with Kiwi about things that are troubling them. Parental involvement and permission to use the app are required.
New study shows grandparents can have a positive influence on a mother's mental health, especially when they're separated from their partners. Researchers in Finland tracked nearly 500,000 moms and found they were less likely to use antidepressants if their own parents were younger than 70, were still working, and did not have their own mental health issues.
All right, 5:45 right now and 37 degrees outside, Mark.
Nike is letting go of more than 1,000 employees. Why they made that decision coming up after the break. Welcome back in your morning consumer headlines. Nike cutting nearly 1,700 jobs to try to trim up to $2 billion in costs over the next 3 years. In December, the company slashed its revenue forecast and announced cost cuts due to growing concerns that consumers are slowing their spending. As of May 2023, Nike employed around 84,000 people worldwide.
And a boom in U.S. productivity may explain how inflation slowed during a strong economy. Productivity is measured by dividing all the goods and services produced in the economy by every hour people worked. Data from the Labor Department shows that it increased 2.7% in the fourth quarter from a year earlier. That is also above the average increase over the past 2 decades. The strong productivity meant higher wage growth for workers, and the employers didn't have to pass the buck to consumers since they were producing enough to cover the labor cost.
A new report from Zillow shows Gen Z is moving to Texas more than any other state. Zillow used data from the U.S. Census Bureau and found that Texas saw an extra 76,000 Gen Z movers make Texas their home in just 2022 alone. The scientist expert at Zillow says Gen Z is likely drawn to the job opportunities here despite the higher cost of housing compared to some, but not all, other states.
All right. Yeah. Interesting information there. Let's check out our TransGuide traffic cameras here real quick because we do have a stalled vehicle being reported on I-10 at Brazos. And I went ahead and put our camera up on there. Check this one out. This is eastbound I-10 at Brazos Street there in the downtown area. We also have another stalled vehicle that was reported earlier there at I-10 in Colorado. So traffic is still moving along pretty smooth, but we do see some flashing lights there. Again, I-10 eastbound there at Brazos.
There is a plus side to anchoring today also. Less walking back and forth to the
true.
desk.
I'm not getting my steps in.
Yeah, you're not getting your steps. You have to do it elsewhere.
Yeah,
nobody's stopping you.
That's true. Yes,
I could walk around.
He went during the break. He did.
All right, take a look at this picture and love this shot. The blue skies right there, and the goats thought they were being judged at the fair, or they're social distancing. One of the two. So don't know which, but.
They are kind of perfectly spaced out.
I know.
Right?
I'm like, are there stickers on the ground right there?
Well, it's like I thought everyone was behind a post, but except that far right is not.
I was looking at the same thing as well. So That's a really cool looking picture. Thank you very much for that one. And this shot out there, 10 at 410. Nice view of the skyline downtown, and got a lot of clear skies out there. Very dry air, so all the lights are nice and twinkly. It's going to be a spectacular sunrise this morning. Freezing temperatures. Comfort actually come up a degree. Hondo, Balverde now at freezing, and there is a hint of a wind chill in places. For instance, Burning Stage, it feels like freezing. Same thing in Braunfels. Not a whole lot of wind out there, but when you have this cold of temperatures, it doesn't take much just to add that little bit, shave off a couple of notches, that little bite to temperatures. And we'll bottom out at 35 here in town this morning. Like I said, gorgeous sunrise, beautiful sunshine all day long, those great looking blue skies out there, and sunset's going to be every bit as spectacular tonight. We will make it up to 68 degrees. So we start off on the cold side, almost 10 below normal, and then we get up to 68 for a high temperature later on today. By the way, the record low for this date, 19. Guess what year that was? 2021. That cold snap still continued even after Valentine's. All right, here's what the humidity is going to be doing the next few days. We've got very dry air right now. Humidity is going to start to increase. And as this comes back in here, we're going to start to see chances for some morning fog tomorrow, Wednesday, as well as Thursday. And it's going to peak on Wednesday. Then the front's going to come on through here. It's going to start to push the humidity out of here by Thursday afternoon. And it's going to be really nice over the weekend. Now, these numbers aren't going to be as low as what it was over this past weekend, what it is right now. We've got dew points down in the 20s and low 30s, but still going to be, getting rid of a lot of that humidity, although it will come right back in here. So this next front is not going to be a huge blast of cold air. It'll just get us back down to normal after a heat up this week, which is going to feel more like mid to almost late spring. So 68 today, and then tomorrow 76 degrees. So we're almost going to be 10 above normal. That'll be the case on Wednesday. Notice the low temperatures are going to be staying higher up there in the mid and upper 50s. Good indication of more humidity hanging around here in the morning, and 81 on Thursday. Then that front, like I said, will come through here, start to get rid of some of the humidity, and good looking on Friday over the weekend. A couple of clouds here and there. Again, not bone chilling in the morning, but then high temperatures are closer to normal Friday, Saturday. Starts to warm back up Sunday, and then warmer again going into next week. Rain chance maybe by Wednesday, and then it looks like late next week, perhaps another quick shot of cold air.
Well, next weekend looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice next weekend. But again, the problem we're getting into now, even it was nice and wet for a while there, and haven't had a lot of rain lately, so we could definitely use some more. But like I said, maybe a chance by middle of next week.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and also, wrapping up things with the rodeo this week. So yeah, I expect a lot of more people out there.
It's going to be perfect rodeo weather this week on the warm side.
Outstanding. Thank you, Mike. 5:53, 37 degrees. Let's take a look at some lottery numbers this morning.
All right, taking a look at pick 3 here. We have 9, 8, 3, then 2 there, and then our daily 4, 1, 1, 2, 5, 3.
Your Cash 5 numbers 12, 13, 19, 23, 35. Lotto Texas 3, 11, 14, 26, 35, 41. And Powerball 6, 28, 59, 62, 69. Powerball 21. Power play is 3. Ahead in the next hour, GMSA, we're tracking the latest on the Amber Alert that's turned into a desperate search for an 11-year-old Texas girl. We've got the latest from what we've learned over the weekend. Plus, Max Massey looks at San Antonio's real estate market and what homeowners can expect to see this year. And up next, San Antonio fire crews work to put out a fire overnight where a house already burned down back in December. What investigators are saying happened this time. And checking traffic right now, very light traffic. It is a holiday. Many schools are out today. Maybe folks have a nice long weekend. Good for you. But thanks for starting your day with us right here on GMSA. 1 hour of news, weather, and traffic still to come right here.